Thinking about moving to Montenegro? Before you pack your bags, it is important to know what life here is really like, the good things and the challenging ones. In this video, I will share the real pros and cons of living in Montenegro based on everyday life here. Hi everyone, I'm Radmila from the Montenegrin Learning Center. I work every day with foreigners who live in Montenegro, expats, remote workers, and people who moved here for lifestyle. And when we talk honestly, there are some things people absolutely love, some things that actually surprise them. One of the biggest reasons foreigners actually fall in love with Montenegro is the lifestyle. Life here is generally slower and more relaxed. People take time for coffee, conversations are longer, and there is less of that constant rush that many people experience in Western Europe or the US. Many expats tell me this is exactly what they were looking for when they were coming here, a better work-life balance and a calmer daily rhythm. Of course, the famous word you will hear everywhere is polako, slowly, take it easy. So for many people, this becomes one of the biggest quality of life improvements. Another thing is nature and location. So Montenegro is small but incredibly diverse. In a very short drive, you can go from the sea to the mountains, from the city to national parks. And this is something that most of the foreigners really appreciate, especially if they enjoy hiking, swimming, weekend trips, and outdoor lifestyle. Everything is relatively close and you don't really need to travel for hours in order to change your environment completely. In 2 hours you can go from Podgorica to the sea, actually in 1 hour, and then in 2 hours from the sea you can be in the mountains. Where else you can have that, really? Pro number 3 is this is still more affordable than Western Europe. So compared to many Western European countries, Montenegro can still be more affordable, especially for eating out, coffee culture, some services, local food. However, and this is important, prices have definitely increased in recent years, so don't look at the old articles if you want to see what will your cost be here. It is not as cheap as many old blog posts still claim, and your real cost will depend on rent and a lifestyle. The most important probably for all of those people who have family, who come with their family to Montenegro is safety. So people walk late in the evening, children play outside, and overall the country has a relatively calm daily atmosphere. Of course, like everywhere, you should use normal common sense, but many foreigners say they feel comfortable here really quickly. Okay, now let's talk about the challenges, because every country has them. The problem number 1 would be bureaucracy, which is really slow. So this is probably the number 1 frustration I hear from expats. Let's be honest, from us too. So administrative processes can sometimes be slow, confusing, or require multiple visits. Things like residence paperwork, registration, official documents may take more patience than you expect. So if you come prepared mentally, it is much easier to handle. The con number 2 would be coastal price fluctuations. So if you plan to live on the coast, especially Budva, Kotor or Tivat, be aware that prices can change a lot seasonally. In the summer, rent increases, crowd increase, traffic increases. Some expats prefer Podgorica or inland areas for this reason. And we come to con number 3, which is a language barrier, and I'm the expert for this. So, in tourist areas, many people speak some English, but for real everyday life, paperwork, healthcare, local services, the Montenegrin language becomes really helpful. Many expats tell me, at first I was fine with English, but later I realized I really need the language. So even basic phrases can make daily life much smoother and more comfortable. Check my website for more information about classes and courses. Con number 4 is job market. If you're coming without remote income, the local job market can be more limited compared to larger European countries. Many foreigners who move here work remotely or have income from abroad. So it is really difficult to get a job here, so it's the best if you have some remote opportunities, grab that and then come to live here. All in all, Montenegro can be a wonderful place to live, especially if you value lifestyle, nature and a slower pace of life. But like any country, it is important to come with realistic expectations. If you're planning to stay longer in Montenegro, learning the language will make your life much easier, from daily errands to real conversations with locals. So, you can start here, check my website and tell me in the comments what would be your biggest concern about moving to Montenegro. Thank you!